Hello, welcome to Recap Rhapsody. Today, I'd like to show you a crime drama movie, Fargo 1996. With 8.110 rating point on IMDb, this is a really good movie. The movie is set in Minnesota and follows the story of a car salesman, Jerry Lundegaard, who is desperate for money and decides to hire two criminals to kidnap his wife, hoping to get a ransom from his wealthy father-in-law. The film opens with a title card reading, "This is a true story," and a disclaimer stating that only the names have been changed to protect the innocent. However, the Coen brothers later revealed the story was entirely fictional. A man drives through a bleak, snowy landscape towing a Cutlass Sierra. He is Jerry Lundegaard, the executive sales manager of a Minneapolis Oldsmobile dealership owned by his father-in-law, Wade Gustafson, and Jerry is desperate for money. On the advice of mechanic and convicted felon Shep Proudfoot, Jerry travels to Fargo, North Dakota, and hires Carl Schulter and Gaear Rudd, two criminals, to kidnap his wife, Jean. He arrives at a bar in Fargo to meet with Carl Schulter and Gaear Rudd. He's arranged for them to kidnap his wife, Jean, back in Minnesota in order to extort ransom money from his father-in-law, Wade Gustafson. He promises them a cut of the ransom money and the brand new Sierra, which he stole from his own company's lot. It's unclear why Jerry needs the cash, but he plans to take $1 million in ransom from Wade and leave the kidnappers with only $80,000. It seems a foolproof scheme. Carl and Gaear agree and visit a couple of prostitutes at a truck stop before heading to Minneapolis. Jerry almost calls off the plan when Wade seems ready to go in on a real estate deal with him. He believes Wade has agreed to lend him $750,000 to finance it, so he attempts to call off the kidnapping. But it turns out Wade wasn't really going to let him get in on the deal in a big way. Wade and his accountant, Stan Grossman, inform Jerry that Wade will make the deal himself and pay Jerry only a modest finder's fee. So, the kidnapping goes as planned, with Jerry's terrified wife crashing down the stairs, wrapped in a shower curtain and knocking herself unconscious. Carl and Gaear kidnap Jean and transport her to a remote cabin in Moose Lake. However, things start to go seriously wrong when Carl and Gaear get pulled over by a state trooper near Brainerd on the highway for not displaying temporary registration tags. The trooper rejects Carl's clumsy bribe attempt and hears Jean whimpering in the back seat. Gaear shoots the state trooper in the head and then kills a couple that witnessed the crime while driving by. They abscond with Jean to a lakeside hideout with really bad TV reception. The following morning, Brainerd Police Chief Marge Gunderson, who is 7 months pregnant, begins investigating. She correctly deduces that the dead trooper was ticketing a car with dealer plates. Later, she learns that two men driving a dealership vehicle checked into the nearby Blue Ox Motel with two call girls and placed a call to Proudfoot. After questioning the girls, Marge visits Wade's dealership, where Proudfoot feigns ignorance and Jerry insists no cars are missing. While in Minneapolis, Marge reconnects with Mike Yanagita, a high school classmate who awkwardly tries to romance her before breaking down and saying his wife has died. Jerry tells Wade the kidnappers have demanded $1 million and will deal only through him. In light of the 3 murders, Carl demands Jerry hand over all of the $80,000 he believes is the entire ransom. Carl is with another call girl in a Minneapolis hotel room when Proudfoot enters and attacks him for bringing Proudfoot to the attention of the police. Carl then calls Jerry and orders him to deliver the ransom immediately. Wade insists on bringing it and meets Carl at a parking garage. He refuses to hand over the money without seeing his daughter, so an enraged Carl shoots him. Wade is armed and fires back, wounding Carl in the jaw. Carl kills Wade and a garage attendant, then drives away with the briefcase containing the ransom. On the way to Moose Lake, Carl discovers the briefcase contains $1 million. He removes $80,000 to split with Gaear, then buries the rest in the snow alongside the highway. At the cabin, Carl finds that Gaear killed Jean because she would not be quiet. Carl says they should split up and leave immediately, and they argue over who will keep the Sierra. Carl uses his injury as justification, shouts insults at Gaear, and attempts to take the vehicle. Then, Gaear kills Carl with an axe. Marge learns from a friend that Yanajita lied. He has no wife and is mentally ill. Reflecting on this, Marge returns to Wade's dealership. Jerry nervously insists no cars are missing and promises to double-check his inventory. Marge sees Jerry driving off the lot and calls the state police. Marge drives to Moose Lake after a local bartender reports having heard a funny-looking guy brag about killing someone. She drives by the cabin, sees the Sierra, then discovers Gaear feeding Carl's dismembered body into a wood chipper. Gaear attempts to flee, but Marge shoots him in the leg and arrests him. Shortly afterwards, Jerry is arrested at a motel outside Bismarck, North Dakota. Marge's husband, Norm, tells her the Postal Service has selected his painting of a mallard for a 3-cent postage stamp and complains that his friend's painting won the competition for a 29-cent stamp. Marge reminds him that many people use smaller denomination stamps whenever prices increase, and they need to make up the difference between the face value of their old stamps and the new cost of first-class postage. Norm is reassured, and the couple happily anticipates the birth of their child. Overall, Fargo is a masterful film that blends humor and darkness to create a unique and unforgettable viewing experience. The film's themes include greed, desperation, and the consequences of one's actions. The characters' attempts to cover up their mistakes and achieve their goals ultimately lead to their downfall. Video is over now. Hope you have a good time. Goodbye.